Welcome back to Community Matters. I'm Bill LeMay. We all want to make the holidays perfect. How do we manage the stress that results from all those expectations? And we all have them, Doctor. That's a good question. I hope you have answers because there are so many different reasons for the stress, is there not? Now, you wrote a book, How to Avoid the Superwoman Complex.
I did.
For a guy who likes to have that superwoman in the household, I don't want you to avoid it. No, but let's start there because the holidays, a lot of it does fall on women, and you know that's true. And they do take too much on. So let's talk a little bit about that. Your book and what a superwoman is and that complex.
Yeah, so you're absolutely right. This superwoman is this notion that one person can be all things to all people perfectly, without fault, making everyone happy, and then at the end of the day, ending up tired, worn out, overstretched, not happy. So it's this movement of the superwoman complex and avoiding the superwoman complex is about giving women permission to set boundaries, to take care of themselves, to take more, to take time just to do what they need to be restored so that they can actually happily help the folks that need their help, but also keeping themselves as a priority.
Well, the holidays, for me, I look forward to them so much, but I hate the shopping thing and all of that. That's one area of stress. But you also have, well, you have folks who are lonely. You have people that aren't going to be with us this holiday season. How do folks manage that? Yeah,
so you're right. It can be both a happy and a sad time for a lot of people. In terms of just missing those that aren't around, you want to, take it head on. Don't avoid it. Don't pretend like, it's not happening. Don't be in denial. Go ahead and celebrate the loved ones that aren't there. If you want to hang pictures, if you want to have a moment of silence, if you want to get together with the family and talk about the good times with those folks that aren't there, you don't want to pretend like it's not happening because then it'll just it'll be in the back of your mind and it'll bring more sadness to the event. So celebrate those that you miss. Take time to really, talk about the happy moments. Yeah.
And I know that to be true, having gone through it myself. And it's great advice. It really is. Shopping, we all want to find that perfect gift, right, for that person. And in addition to trying to find it, there's also the budget that you have to deal with, and that can be stressful for anyone.
Correct.
How do you deal with that?
Don't spend your life savings on gifts or on the holidays in general, because then December 22nd or December 26th or January the 2nd, you're then in depression because you're literally in depression. You're in debt. Don't spend your whole life savings, particularly if you have a lot of kids or millennials around. They appreciate cash just as much as they do those huge gifts, gift cards. I like my husband and I, especially when money was low, we would do coupons to one another, cook for a whole week or hugs, instead of spending all the money. But if you do have those things that you want to spend a lot of money on, just remember January the 2nd, start planning, start budgeting, start putting away money into a holiday fund so that you don't come around to December last minute and you're spending your last check on everything. And our loved ones, our kids, we just have to instill in them that the holidays are really about family and spending time with each other, quality time versus the quantity spent on a gift.
Well, and I also know that a lot of folks really don't have family, and it can be a very lonely time, a very depressing time for some folks, which is sad. What can they do?
You can spend some time volunteering or giving back, so a lot of times what I do when, things feel kind of drab or blah, and, thank God I'm not isolated when it comes to being alone for the holidays, but spending time doing something for someone else kind of takes the focus off of what's going on with you that makes you feel down. So getting out and volunteering, soup kitchen, Habitat for Humanity, all different types of organizations. If you get involved, and not only does it help you feel like you're giving back and volunteering and doing good for others, but then you are surrounded by other like-minded people who hopefully bring more positivity to the season.
And as a physician, you know that there's also depression and issues like that. And I think the holidays probably, amplify that. I could be wrong. I'm not a physician. But that's treatable, isn't it? I mean, that's something that in addition to medication, there are support groups.
Of course.
What's your advice on that?
Yeah. So there's such a thing called seasonal affective disorder, which is sad, that can happen during the winter months because of things like this, the stressful moments, missing loved ones, the days are shorter, gets darker sooner. We don't get outside, it's not sunny as long as it used to be during the summertime, and it can be devastating for some. So what we talk about, other than medicate, of course there are medications that we treat depression and anxiety and all that with, but support groups are wonderful. Therapy, one-on-one counseling is wonderful. For folks who suffer from seasonal affective disorder, even though you can't get outside and have the sunlight, you can buy a particular type of light to be in your office so that you are getting that stimulation, and that's helping your endorphins. Exercising, always. Getting a lot of sleep, getting good rest will help.
And circling back around to your book, the Superwoman Complex, in a way it's almost for anyone. You can take too much on, and your expectations are always so high, and maybe they're unrealistic?
Yes,
So
often.
what's your advice to all of these people as we move closer to the holidays?
Yeah, divvy up the responsibility. So you're right, you have a wonderful, sounds like a wonderful superwoman in your house that takes care of everybody and does a good job. But it's okay to divvy up the responsibilities. So you don't have to be the only one cooking the whole meal, cleaning the whole house, putting up all the decorations. Ask for help, so dad's responsibility can be one thing, the kids can take on another thing. Get together with your in-laws, your extended family, and say, okay, well, I'm going to do this part, you do this. Share the responsibility so you don't feel like all the burden is on one person. If you don't want to host at your house, don't. Go to someone else's house. Say this year we did it at my house, next year it's your house, and you rotate. Or not do it at home at all. I've had a lot of people tell me that they spend holidays elsewhere. So I have a lot of friends that may go to the beach, or may go to a hotel, or may go somewhere else, so that someone else is caring for them and treating them and cooking and cleaning, and then they come home back to their clean home and they have a good time. So
I like that.
Don't take on all the responsibility all by yourself. It's not fair.
Well, one last thing. You got to take the responsibility to buy the book. How do they get the book?
So you can find me at DocSwiner.com, and the book is on Amazon. I'm glad to say it is an international bestseller.
Awesome.
Yay, as of this last month, so that's very exciting. But it's on Amazon. If you're too busy to read in print, it's on audiobook and on Kindle for those times that you are traveling. But it is on audiobook, so you can listen while you're falling asleep or driving to work. So I'm really excited about people reading
It's a great book. It's so good to see you again.
It's good to see you again.
Happy holidays.
You too.
Thank you. We'd like to thank everybody, and of course you, for joining us today. We hope we've given you some helpful tips on staying healthy during the winter season. If you have any questions or would like to know more, visit our website at myrdctv.com and raleighcw.com. I'm Bill LeMay. Thanks for watching Community Matters, and we'll see you next week.